Hey guys, it's LC, and I am back with another review of Life After Lockup. This is season 5, episode 43, Ring and Run. So let's jump right into it. So we begin with Bianca and Daniel. Daniel just got out of jail. I think this is literally the next day. His mother and father, his family wants to spend a little time with him. So his mom takes him clothes shopping so he can have some clothes on the free will because he has absolutely nothing. He just talks with his mom about life and loving Bianca and wanting to be with her and propose to her. And they were like a Goodwill or whatever. And it's nothing wrong with Goodwill. I love Goodwill. And while they were there, his cousin, and Bianca went to a restaurant and they actually had some drinks. So once they finished at the shopping, they went over to the restaurant to meet up with them. And Bianca is loaded. And she's like really defensive, like, well, your alcohol problem is your problem, and if you relapse, it's your problem. Just real like weird vibes, especially if you're somebody like you want to marry. You're supposed to be supportive of that person. But I mean, he walked away and she was trying to give him kisses and everything. They like made up, but he didn't want to kiss her because he's like, I don't want that like temptation of like tasting alcohol or smelling it up close to give me that urge to want to drink. So they kind of made up in the end. He was talking to her. She kind of took it really like she's being like laughing about it and everything. So how do you feel about these two? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Next, I believe we have Justine and Michael. So with Justine and Michael, it kind of picks up from last week. He had just punched a hole in the closet door, being extra, which didn't make any sense, especially trying to teach your child about breaking stuff, and then you go and break something. And he went for a walk, and he ended up coming back and talking to Justine, and she's like, "You're not gonna walk past me like I'm the problem, like I did something." And yeah, he probably is just frustrated in life and probably overwhelmed with everything he had going on. You know, sometimes we have these expectations in life of maybe like being a content creator or making music or whatever our small businesses or our hobbies or whatever our trades don't take off as fast as we think so, or we don't make as much money, and life is just overwhelming. So I can understand where his frustration is, minus the punching a hole in the wall. But they end up talking and they basically made up, of course, or sorted out their situation. And then it like jumps to them with the kids, and he's with his daughter and she's with her daughter, and just kind of telling them about the pregnancy and high risk. And of course, both of these young ladies are more smarter and more mature than their parents, and they like Justine tells her daughter, like, "Oh, if I die, I would like you to have custody of your brothers and like of your siblings, and you can share custody with Michael," which is crazy, First of all, anyways, I'm not even going to say my opinion on it. And then the other daughter is kind of in her feels because her two younger siblings aren't over in Las Vegas with them. So, they just had those talks. That's it. Justine and Michael doesn't really bring much to the table. So let's talk about it. All right, our next couple is Kim and Joey. Their scene is pretty boring. They don't really got much going on. Like I said from jump, I feel like they're really happy and this is all scripted and they just get in the bag. But she starts with making breakfast and he's like asking her about the paternity test. It hasn't come back yet. She's like, "No, it's gonna come to my email." And they just start talking about basically the paternity or whatever. Later on, he goes to a job interview for like HVAC. He doesn't have a HVAC certificate or whatever, a license. He has some other type of certification that like kind of puts his foot in the door. But of course, with his background and his lack of work experience, it probably is not going to work out for him. The guy said that was interviewing him, and he said, "We'll see. If it does work out, we'll work with you, and if it don't, we'll move forward." And I mean, I'm for sure, it's hard out there, but like you have to really try and you have to really want it. Cause if you just sit around and like let your girlfriend or your fiance spoon feed you, then, some people get stuck in that pattern. So let's talk about it below. They don't really give anything for me. So, whatever. So now we got Melissa and Joey. They don't really have a storyline either, but I mean, just a cute little filler content. And he is ring shopping because in the last episode she said that she wanted a 2 carat diamond ring, and he's been saving his money from his multiple ventures, and he went and did some ring shopping with some friends, and for sure the diamond that they were trying to sell him was way more than what he expected. So he just was kind of like thinking about like weighing his options, like, is she gonna love me less if I get her, not a 2 carat diamond ring, or like what does the advantage of having that ring in particular mean so much. And so he's just thinking about, his options, and if he really 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 want to do this. He love her, but the ring part, and I'm for sure this is just for TV. He probably got her a ring already and she's happy as all outdoors. So what y'all think about it? Let's talk about it down below. Our next couple is Brittany and Key Rock. Last episode, of course, they told the mom that they couldn't go to Texas right now because of probation. And so they're living at the hotel, the government issued hotel, when there are kind of rules there, like they can't go out after a certain time, no visitors. And then just the outside surroundings is giving Brittany really bad PTSD because of how she grew up and what she's experienced. And of course, I'm sure she just don't want to be around that type of environment to get herself in any trouble or temptation to do anything. So then Brittany, actually, while they were waiting on their appeal, Key Rock, he got off parole or probation. So he doesn't even he's approved. He can go. He don't have to check into anybody or wait on any approvals. He can just go. So now Brittany has to go. She's on probation until 2030 or until her restitution is paid off. And so they went to go talk to the officer, and of course she got denied again, or basically a stipulations to her moving. She has to move in with a relative, and the relative has to put her name on the lease and go from there. And she's like, why do I have to go through all of this? Life's already hard, and she's throwing me more curveballs, and she just wants to be off of that. But sometimes you have to think about your life, and you just got to do better. Don't make better decisions, period. So all right, now Zaria and Troy. This is also filler content. She's a terrible actor. Oh, Troy, are you cheating on me? And he looking all crazy, like, no, of course not. I don't even know how to work my phone, But that was it. That's how they day started. She went through that. They went through that. And later on in the day, she went to visit. Oh, they went to go visit her little tarot card reader lady, and they had a little conversation. And at first, they tried to make it seem like, oh, he was cheating, and the lady was like, no, if you would have stayed before you ran out, I was trying to tell you that I don't see anything in your present life that's going, maybe this was before, but I don't see any of that now. And she probably only seeing Zaria because, unless he has some other stuff going on. But like, she seems to be the liar and the cheat. But later on after that, they went to Zaria's parents' house, and had dinner with them. And she told the dad about them or her seeing a tarot card reader. And the dad didn't like that because, he believed in his faith, and he has every right to that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about them below. And that's it. And I will see y'all in my next video.